Hey, Scott, I just wonder first what you made of Taylor in the fourth quarter last week.
I think he did a nice job. Tough situation. Always, obviously coming into a game down a couple scores, not a lot of time left, but I think he did a nice job of kind of seeing some open holes, pushing the ball down the field a little bit. The good thing was the ball came out on time. When he had the ability to extend some plays, he did that, and we moved the ball. Unfortunately, on that first drive, weren't able to get in the end zone. Got the one touchdown called back, and had the sack on the 1 second down play, but. Overall, with not a lot of work, and not being here for a while, he did in, and I thought he fared well.
When you have a guy going in a position like that, how much do you have to balance hey, maybe let's get him some easy throws early to get him settled in versus we don't have a ton of time, so we just got to take our shots?
I mean, and honestly, at that point, you just got to trust the player that he's prepared, and you got to do whatever you can to try to win the game. Because that's what we're trying to do. You only get so many opportunities at it, and I think Taylor was ready and took to that challenge. We had a couple plays that if we would have made them, we could have swung it the other way. And I don't think you just got to trust those guys that they're gonna get done what they need to.
Thank you,
Matt.
Hey Scott, Ron was talking a lot about Taylor's retention, and I was kind of wondering, do you see that kind of play out in the game? Like, are there series to series adjustments that he's making, things that he learns really fast? Just how kind of fast does he understand the game?
Yeah, well, Taylor is a guy that I've actually, I got some experience with. I was with him in Minnesota as well as Carolina. This offense, it's evolved obviously, but the foundation, has been close to the same. As it changed. And just so like the verbiage, he's a smart guy. I think I heard him talking in his press conference. He was taking like math and nature or some sort of whatever, some classes I don't even understand. And so he's a smart guy. He understands what we're trying to get done. And so he was able to retain stuff just from his background of being around us. And then, yeah, he knows coverages, and, he kind of knows where the holes are. He knows where guys are supposed to be, and he turns it loose.
And then, playing Philly in week 17 is kind of a nice bookend to where you guys were at the beginning of the year. I mean, as you kind of think about it, is where you guys are at now a complete difference to where you were at the beginning of the season? How do you feel like you've progressed as you head into the home stretch here?
It's been a long year. I've been watching these cut-ups of the Philly game, watch that game again, and that seems like 5 years ago. I think everyone jokes about 2020 and all that kind of stuff, but this season's kind of been like that. I think we've come a long way. You've seen a lot of our players, a lot of guys really. We found out about some guys, some guys that really stepped up and have put together pretty good years. I think offensively, we still got a lot of work to do, as we build this program, and we'll reflect a little bit more of that once the season's over. But, we've gotten better. We've gotten better in a lot of areas, and that's what we're trying to do. Yeah, it is. It's interesting. You played him in the first game, you played him in the last game. But, we're really right now just kind of focused on getting to this game and doing everything we could possibly can to find a way to get a win and extend our season.
You guys had a lot of success earlier in the season with snapping it to Logan Thomas or getting him involved in those various ways. Seems like that hasn't been the case the last couple of times you've gone to. Anything you've noticed about whether it's opponents keying in or just, something that happens over the course of a season?
No, I mean, the last couple of times that you're referring to, obviously the 4th and 1 in Pittsburgh, that guy made a nice play. And then this last one, we ran the 3rd and 1, and FA, we had a cutoff block, and he hit the snap count, and he beat a block. Really, I mean, that's what it was. It wasn't. I mean, it's a downhill power type run, and the guy beat a block, and he made a nice tackle in the backfield. It wasn't anything that was like a giveaway or something like that. It's still, there's some stuff that we'll continue to do and sprinkle in, and just like any other play, I mean, we can snap the ball to the quarterback and hand it off to the back, and if they got the right call made, or if we don't execute a block, they can stop those. So that's kind of just how I view it. I don't, I trust our guys that we're going to handle the the ball handling. It's not going to be a disaster as far as that goes, and then I just view it as any other play in our offense.
Hey Scott, what did you see in Taylor after college? Because you went down to work him out down there. What did you see in him, and why did you guys want him in Minnesota?
Well, he's an incredibly productive player. When he got done playing there, I think he was like the sixth. He threw for the sixth most yards in the history of all of college football, any level. Like I said before, a very smart guy, and he's really a good athlete. He wasn't invited to the combine, but if he would have been, I mean, I think he would have finished in like the top three in all those athletic categories, whether it's 40-yard dash, broad jump, vertical jump. And then, so I just wanted to see him go and throw the ball, kind of see how it came off his hand. And he throws a nice ball. His issue is he's 6 foot, 200 pounds. He's a littler guy. And, you've seen more and more guys like that play. And a lot of times it's not necessarily your ability to play, but just the, avoiding hits and the durability it takes, over the course of a season. He's bounced around. We had him obviously multiple places. He played started a game against the Falcons in 2018 and unfortunately got hurt, and that's where we went to Kyle. The next game was the Saints, but just the athleticism, you see him throw the ball on time. He has nice touch. The ball flight's good, nice. And he's a smart guy. And then, so we got him as undrafted guy, and then he kind of developed, and we liked what we saw for him. Liked how he played when the lights came on.
And then, I've talked to some people who say, like, because of his math background and you're a numbers-based system, that it might be a good match. Is there anything to that?
No, it's not really. No, I mean, we just, we have numbers, but we code word things. I mean, that's just kind of the way we label stuff. That's, we're not like, he's not asked to like do any math or anything like that. I think it speaks to his just overall intelligence and processing.
All right. Sometimes you get too much information. Thank you.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Hey, Scott, you obviously had to play last week without Terry McLaurin, and maybe you will again this week. What was your evaluation of the receivers last week? How did they perform?
I think it was a little up and down, just like everybody else. I think, we had some guys that, made some plays. We had some plays that we'd like to have back. I think, obviously look at a guy like Antonio Gandy Golden. It was a good experience for him because that's the most he's ever played. Obviously, being hurt in camp, playing, getting hurt again. Now his first game back, and he's asked to play that many plays. And I think he'll be better for it. I think we got to play better at that position in order to win and to play the way we want to. But again, we had a lot of young guys that had to step up and play a lot of plays. They did some good things, but we just got to keep working and keep improving.
And I was going to ask about Gandy Golden. Obviously, from where he came from in college to the NFL is a big jump. Then he misses time. What's sort of the thing you think he's the primary thing he needs to work on to take another step? And is it even conceivable that could be done with what's left this year?
You never know. Sometimes, it just kind of clicks for guys. I think, he played hard. He was really blocking guys, working up the field. Didn't have a lot of balls go his way. But I think, just continue to work on running routes, running off the ball, getting out of breaks, getting that separation. And then when the ball comes his way, fighting and working for contested catches. And I think those are the things that'll come, the more experience he gets, the more he gets to play.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Scott, you kind of joked about 2020 earlier, but I mean, you're on your fourth quarterback. Do you ever reflect and wonder just kind of how nuts it is that you're playing for the division title Sunday night?
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I try not to, at least. It's been a long year, but this is this league, and you never know what's going to come up. I think you got to approach every week and kind of say, hey, who do we have, and how can we do the best to make this work? We've done a better job than others. Some weeks, some weeks we need to do better, and we just everyone's got to give their best this week. We got to all hands on deck. Whoever we have that's going to be wearing a jersey, they got to be a part of the reason that we can go win this game and get the division. That's been my message to the guys. And that's how I approach it, because to me, there's no other way to approach it. I mean, that's the situation that we're in, and we got to make the most of it.
And then with Antonio Gibson, is he fully back to you? Could he handle 20 carries, whatever game flow calls for?
Yeah, I think he could. I mean, it's a shame really what happened in the game on Sunday. We were run heavy in the first half. I really wanted to run the ball. We had some circumstances in the game, and we got behind, and we get the ball in the third quarter with 6 minutes left, and we're down 3 scores, and you got to maximize possessions at that point, and it forced us to get away from the run. If you stay normal and you run the ball, you're probably only going to get 3 more possessions, and we got 4 and you're down 3 scores. You need every possession you get, and that's kind of what led to that. I think the way he was running the ball, if we would have stayed a close game, and if we didn't turn the ball over offensively, I think he would have had a nice game of running football, because he was really getting rolling. When you play a game like that, you got to evaluate the toe. He's still working to rehabbing to get back, but I feel good about him, and I know, like I said, hopefully we'll get him rolling, and he'll good to go Sunday, and he'll give us everything he's got.
Thanks, Scott.
All right, guys, 2 more, Nikki and Rhiannon.
Hi, Scott. How did not having Terry affect what you usually want to do with the offense, and did it affect what Carolina and the way they played you?
I don't know if it affected the way they played. They kind of played the way what we had seen on film. There wasn't a lot of surprises. As the game went on, they were mixing in a lot of pressures, but I think that was more dictated by the situation than who we had on the field. It affects us because, it's one less, big time. I mean, Terry's a big time player. He's an over 1,000-yard receiver. He can take the ball to the house at any play. So just not having that guy out there, that's another weapon that they don't have to worry about. And it's another guy that, we can't throw it to. I mean, I think that's where it really comes in the most. I mean, we did a lot to move Terry around, try to get him the ball. And when he's not out there, then someone else has to step up to that role. And then another guy has to step up in the role that the other guy stepped up from, and it's just kind of a trickle down effect for the offense.
Rhiannon?
Hey, Scott. This is kind of a 2-part question, but as you guys head into your Week 17 matchup, one of the things that's been fairly consistent is some of these slow starts. And I know that's something you all have talked about ad nauseum at this point in the season. Just one, how frustrating is it when you had a win-and-in situation to have the slow start? I know turnovers were a part of it. And then number 2, when you look at some of the film, break down some of these games, has there been some common theme these first 16 games that you can pinpoint and say, hey guys, this is what we cannot do heading into this final win-and-in situation on Sunday?
Yeah, it is frustrating. It's kind of a one play here that kind of derails the whole thing, or 10 guys doing the right thing, one guy not. Sometimes I'll call a play and they'll have a good call for it, and it stops the drive. It's been I wish it was one thing you could point to. It's not. It's kind of been a variety of different things. We've had turnovers. We've got, as over the course of the year, we got stopped on the 4th down, 4th and 1 on the 1 earlier in the year. We've had, sacks that have derailed drives, early. And, I was just looking at it. I mean, we're obviously not good at all in the beginning of the game. We need to be a lot better, and then we turn around and we're probably one of the best teams in the league in the first drive of the 3rd quarter. So, we just it's something that we got to figure out. Obviously, it's Week 17, and now more than ever will be the time that we need to go play fast and start fast. The one thing that I just continue to express to our guys is, no one has to do anything special or do extra. Everyone just has to do their own job, and if everyone does their job, everything seems to take care of itself.